time to do this all over again. Hey, my friend, we're back. We're back for Last of Us Season 2. Andrew, January, don't make any plans. Okay. I don't care what you got going on in your life. Death in the family, you stay here because we have to cover this.
Greg, I got one thing to say to you. May your survival be long.
And may your death be swift.
I love it. I love what you're saying right now because that's a quote. Last of Us 2 is actually my favorite video game of all time, so I'm excited for this, man.
Me too. I love that game so much.
Leave a like, subscribe, and go watch Monster Summer, David Henry's new movie, October 4th. Let's do this.
Oh, you want to start or what?
A Joel therapy session.
Confession. Creation. Game. Wow.
So beautiful still. Aww.
Let's try something different.
We'll reserve spoilers for after the trailer.
Yeah, I'm not...
You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
Oh! God, I know which part that is.
My Dina.
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
Oh! I thought we wouldn't see that scene until way later.
Jesse!
It is, no matter how bad.
Wow, this is like, they're just acting out the video game. Recognize like pretty much every scene.
What did you do?
Abby.
Damn!
Cool.
Oh!
Remember that part?
Yeah.
That was,
Right when Abby, and they grab her hat.
Whoa. It's like a full-on recreation.
I know, it's so cool.
Oh my god! Oh my god, not that scene!
Sarah fights!
Ooh, I got goosebumps.
Seriously, I do too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Oscar Isaac, or Oscar
Isaac.
I meant to say Jeffrey Wright as Isaac.
Whoa. Ah! Ah, we no one's seen that.
Wow.
Oh, it's Future. That's who he's playing. Future Days.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite parts in the game.
Song. It took me forever to figure out that's what the song was.
Yeah. Oh, I knew it was.
Whoa.
I'm not even going to attempt to sing it. I don't have the beautiful voice of
Troy Baker.
Yes. Who's following you, by the way?
He is?
Special. Yeah. On X, he's following you.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yes.
Well.
I was like, I said Oscar Isaac. I meant to say Isaac. Jeffrey Wright is
Isaac.
Isaac.
What happens when you try to get the references down. That's what happens when you try to show you know something.
I know.
You get too caught up in your head, and then you say things that make you look
I know people.
like a dumbass.
I'm stupid. I know.
Gosh, it's okay. Andrew, don't have that self-talk about yourself. I can talk that way about you, but you can't talk that way about yourself. You need resilience. Anyway, guys, yeah, we're just going to spoil everything right now because you haven't played the game, so just leave if you don't want any spoilers. This is going to be a heartbreak. The part that surprised me when I went, is they clearly have that scene that's the very end of the video game when they talk on the porch. Yes, in timeline-wise, that is a much earlier point in the story, but in terms of revealing in the video game, that's at the very end of the game. Beautiful scene, makes me cry every time.
Yes.
And then they showed that in the trailer, and I guess I was surprised because they said that this would be multiple seasons, this video, as it should be, considering how thick this story is and expansive. And I guess they're gonna maybe play this in linear order for it to, because you got to make it flow for a season 2 versus differently than when you're playing a video game, especially the way they tell the video game story.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, I think the in regards to the first season, they definitely. I mean, there was a lot of recreation of the first game, but they also did a lot of their own stuff too. And I think that would be a good separation from the video game, making this a little more linear. As much as I love the way they did the non-linear storytelling, I think that would be a good way to separate a little from the game. But I do love all the recreating. It gave me honestly so many goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I love too that we got
Jeffrey.
Right.
Yeah.
Back as Isaac.
Back as Oscar Isaac.
Oscar
Isaac.
Thank you. I love that we got him back. It's cool that I'm curious to see who Catherine O'Hara is playing. did look like there was a little bit of.
Didn't she look like I thought she was the person in charge of. No, wait, that's no. It's been a while. Tommy's wife is the one. in charge.
No, we've already seen Tommy's wife in season 1.
Yeah, and she's in the trailer for a little bit.
Yeah.
Who is she playing? That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a mystery to me, but it's gonna be interesting to see who she is. But what I love so much about the second game is how it deals with revenge and pain, and just how like you can still live your life even when you're dealing with loss, and like you've got the two paths to go on. When it comes to do you want to live your life dealing with revenge, or do you want to deal with moving on and seeing if you can still live a life of purposeness? And I think that it's a mature thing to tackle, and I think the game really did a good job of doing that. And I think this, from what we see here in the trailer, I think like they're up to the challenge and what they did in the first season. Like I really trust them a lot. So this again looks phenomenal. January can't come soon enough. This looks incredible. I'm so just impressed with everything that I'm seeing in this trailer.
I can feel it coming off of you. It's radiating, Andrew.
Yeah, it
feels good.
I just wish it was January.
It feels good to hear it. So Joel's gonna die, right? And then when Joel dies,
you spoiled it for me.
That's the part of this journey that I am so fascinated to know how audiences who haven't played the game are going to react to this,
right.
Because it seems like they're very much committed to that. Maybe they tell it in a linear fashion versus non-linear, so that way you kind of keep Pedro Pascal around longer instead of just having to use him in flashbacks. I kind of prefer the method of the video game. That way you can feel the loss of Pedro throughout the season, which would be effective. Clearly, the scene at the end is when you see Ellie screaming. I'm like, okay, that's definitely the scene where Joel's getting his head bashed in, right?
Yes. No, that's a good point. That's why I love as hard as it was, because he's a character we're so emotionally invested and we love, and he was the person we played with in the first game, aside from a little bit of Ellie. And obviously, we don't want anything to happen to these characters we love. Understandable why people were so pissed off, or some people were. And even us who love the game, we were upset too, because we love this character. But the point I'm making is you do feel that throughout the game. But again, the way they sprinkle him in the flashbacks that's why you feel it so much. And I understand if they change that up and they want to, like, again, to keep Pedro Pascal. But again, if they do go the route that they do in the game, I'm totally up for that as well. So,
well, it's different in a video game, because in a video game you spend like $60 when you buy it. You're not just going to be like, screw this, I'm not playing it anymore.
Right.
And you've committed to the time trajectory to do it, and you're forced to play then as Ellie. I mean, you're playing as Ellie from the beginning, then you're forced to play as Abby, and so they thrust you into these positions. Versus in a show, you're going to ask your audience to still stick around after killing off your lead character in a very mean way, and a beloved one. Like, he's literally winning awards. So Well,
I'm sorry, I don't mean. My question to you is and to the audience, I'm curious too. If we do this linear fashion instead of the non-linear, like, are we gonna? Because what upset a lot of people too was Abby, like, you did the nonlinear and then you showed Abby's backstory later on. Are you going to show that earlier on so you understand her motivation quicker? Or are you going to wait longer and be for the people who don't know? You know what I'm saying? So
I think they might allude to it a little bit earlier, because you're going to have to hook people into Abby, and I really hope that people aren't dumbasses and like that they don't mistreat.
Kaitlyn Dever
is her name, I
think.
Kaitlyn
Dever,
who's just playing a character, and people can be stupid, and so don't be stupid. If you hate Abby, you hate Abby, but don't attack this person, please. Don't be a moron. All right. So seriously,
just playing a character.
It's so stupid when people do that shit. It's so dumb and it's so unnecessarily mean. So yeah, don't attack her. But she is gonna murder the shit out of Pedro Pascal.
She's gonna have a Joel in one.
I can't wait for that moment. I can't wait.
Greg's been texting me like I'm so excited.
I've already prepared my reaction. All right.
He keeps sending me texts of golf clubs.
I don't know if I'm gonna bring my golf club with me that day. I don't know if I'm gonna clap.
I could see you doing that.
I don't know if I'm gonna applaud. I don't know. I'm going to shed a tear and be like, I'm so happy that this is happening.
But what would you? If you were in the writing room, would you do that? Would you show her backstory or just allude to it in the early part of the season?
I would have just a very minimal allude to it,
right?
Because of the fact that it's a TV show medium, and especially if you're going to turn Abby into a main character that you follow. It's because that's the thing is like I grew to really love Abby.
I did too. I really did too.
And I remember playing that game the first time, thinking it was a cheap shot what they did to Joel. I thought it was like a manipulative maneuver. And then when you started playing as Abby, I was like, what the hell is this game thinking? Why would I want to do that? And then I got so invested in it.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, obviously, you know, that game was what, I don't even remember the run. It was so damn long. But again, I love that I hated her at first,
Yeah.
and then I grew to love her so much. And also, I loved her arc too, about what she learned. Like once, you know, she got to with Lev, and how she grew, like, you know, that bondship, and like she understood like the error of her ways. I'm like, oh my god, she's really grown as a character. The way she's developed, like, holy shit.
My favorite line in the video game is the exchange with Lev when Lev goes, "They're your family," and then she turns to Lev and he says, "You're my family."
That is a powerful damn line.
I remember that moment being the moment I was like, "Oh, I love this character." Like, I really do. So yeah, I think I'm excited for it. I like how this is really leaning into the bleakness and the drama. And hopefully they prepare their audience as well. There's not really like a showcase of clickers, but I do kind of hope we get more.
I was just about to say that.
Throughout. Like
it
we
looks
haven't
like
talked,
a little bit more.
We haven't talked at all about it, but I really hope they lean more into that. It feels like they are throwing down because there are some very famous moments. Let's hope we get the king. The Rat King.
Oh, the rat. Dude, that part scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
It
let's
still
hope they
scares
get
the shit out of
I hate playing that movie.
It's definitely hard, but you can't, like, they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You can't have this you can't do this season and not do that.
Well, the hardest parts, like even though playing as Ellie is definitely my favorite part, she cemented herself as like my favorite video game character because of Last of Us 2. But the hardest parts are when you're playing as Abby, like when you first encounter Lev, and then you're trapped in that one room and you have to fight your way out. I find that to be a very hard part. And then the Rat King part, very hard. So
it's so much horror in that part too. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm excited.
I'm excited, guys. What'd you think about this trailer? Are you hyped? Do you think Oscar Isaac's going to do a good job in this show?
Thanks, Craig.
Excited for him to join another franchise.
Love that we didn't even talk about Dina in this too.
I mean, we talked about her last season.
Yeah, we did.
Jesse, take on me. Yeah, let's do this. Bye.